Hey everyone, I'm DJ.
And I'm Ish, and we're the hosts of
The Pero Let Me Tell You podcast. So, what is the Pero Let Me Tell You podcast? Well, it's two lifelong friends from Miami discussing current events, news, politics, and pop culture.
In a nutshell, we talk about anything, everything, and absolutely nothing, just like you and your friends, loca with a healthy dose of Spanglish.
And we interview the best Latin personalities around.
Like actress Melissa Fumero.
And don't forget Harvey Ying from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh my god, and the Olympic gymnast Daniel Leyva.
We got to hold his medals.
Yes, we did.
And then, of course, the one and only, my personal favorite dream guest, Gina Torres.
An absolute goddess. But I mean, honestly, there's just too many guests for us to list. The important thing is we're always putting the spotlight on the Latin community because we truly do believe representation matters.
Así que check out Pero Let Me Tell You podcast on all podcast streaming platforms today with new episodes dropping every Friday. And I really mean every Friday, people. And don't forget
Your croquetas,
your pastelitos, and your cafecito.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Phresh with Phresh presents Que Bola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Ew. Yo, what they do, my dog? What's up, man? Hope you guys are doing great. It's your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street, in la calle. I want to wish everybody a happy Latin Heritage Month. We're in the beginning of the Latin Heritage Month. Everybody out there, you know, representing that Latino gang, you know what it is. One time, showing you love from 305, from Dade County, from the bottom, my dog. Desde abajo venimos. Para toda la gente, para mostrarle amor y felicidad y gozo, baby. That's what we're all about out here in the Que Bola podcast. This week's episode, we sat down with a Miami music legend, my dog, straight out of the Bermuda Triangle, Mr. Otto Von Schirach, straight out of Hialeah, Pablo, ya tú sabes, 305 till I die, 305. One time, bro, for Otto Von Schirach. He's a legend out here, and he has a very big following in Europe as well. Those Europeans, you know, they like that funky shit that we be doing out here, echándole sazón a todo. Yeah, in this episode, we talked about all those dope things that musicians face. And yeah, without further ado, I just want you to listen to it. Let me know what you think. Leave us comments, subscribe, share with your friends, all right? Listo.
But wait, your parents came from where?
Colombia. Yeah, my parents came from Colombia.
That's awesome. So
I was the anchor baby.
So they came when there was not a lot of Colombians, when it was mostly Cuban.
Back in the day, when it was a lot of Cubans, yeah.
That's why, because I always thought you were Cuban until you told me you weren't.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
100%.
A lot of Miami people raised in Miami, Latinos, they're like borderline Cuban, you know?
Yes, they get a lot of the Cubanisms, you know? I got a lot of the Cubanisms. Also, not only that, but then I was also raised in like Westchester. So there's nothing but Cubans out there, dog. Westchester as fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Little Cuba over there, that's like, you know, second to Hialeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Pero, ¿cómo se llama? You're just like Vic the Kid.
Vic the Kid.
Los Sucios.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he wants me to tell the world, but he's Colombian, but he grew up in Miami.
Yeah.
So he speaks Cuban better than the Cubans.
Yeah. The crazy accent. It's the same thing with me. Sometimes, like, when I'm talking Spanish, I could almost like... You know how those comedians do like all the different accents? I could kind of do that in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the various people that we've like intermingled with growing up, dog. I know a lot of Nicas. I grew up with a shitload of Nicas. There's a big ass Nica population here in Miami. You know what I'm saying? They used to live like in Sweetwater. A lot of them. There was a big
100.
area.
Doral too.
Doral, all that area.
The Venezuelans in Doral. But so there's a lot of Nicas in Doral.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there's a lot of Venezuelans. So yeah. So we are in another episode of the Que Bola podcast. Ya tu sabe, win the mug in the studio today. Yours truly, Miami legend, directly from the Bermuda Triangle, my dog, Otto Von Schirach. Otto, how you doing, my dog?
Gracias, Rudy. I'm so happy to be here. Aquí al lado de Calle Ocho.
A la Calle Ocho.
Grew up in this neighborhood. God blessed. It's Cementerio.
Cementerio.
Was just telling her little kid stories I'm not going to mention here on camera, but... Yeah, birthday parties, you know, treats.
Wildin'.
This neighborhood in the 80s was popping, bro.
Yes.
A Street, I mean...
A Street is, this neighborhood has had a lot of, like, a big trajectory. You know what I'm saying? A huge trajectory. A Street had a lot of. This is where the lively scene was at. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, before there was anything else.
Biscayne, you would only go if you were like a crackhead.
Yes,
basically. Now it's like the neighborhood to be at, you know.
Yeah.
In the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, what do you mean? I used to pick up my aunt there.
Yeah.
You know?
Biscayne was wild, dog.
Pobrecita. But
Bro,
yeah.
it used to be a wild time out there.
Biscayne was wild. And
Yes.
when Calle Ocho was, when I grew up, Biscayne, you didn't go to because why?
Yeah.
You would come here to Calle Ocho, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, this was the area. This was more
it was popping
popping area.
Anything else.
And now it's over there. It's
it's
La
wild.
vida.
Like, I mean, yeah. Now, how do you? All right. So you're like born and raised Dade County, 305, Hialeah. What high school did you go to, by the way?
I didn't go to Gables, but I was supposed
you were
to.
supposed to go to Gables.
Yeah.
So you un delincuente. You went a la.
I went to like 10th grade.
Oh, okay.
And then like I still went to school,
Yeah.
pero, you know, I would get to school and then we just go to a
just ride
friend's
out.
house,
Yeah.
you know. They used to let us leave in the car, you know, so.
Yeah,
Pero I
that
don't
was another
recommend that
time.
to the kids, stay in school and study, porque yo lo tenía que pasar muy difícil para llegar a donde yo estoy hoy.
Yeah, I feel you. Education is key. Education is key. But the good thing is that now we get education anywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's education that readily disposable at your fingertips at any motherfucking minute. You're on YouTube. You could go to YouTube University and learn any skill set.
100%
Yeah,
easy.
easy.
Before we would have to be like, oye, dime, ¿de dónde tú vienes?
Yeah.
Ayúdame. And then you would really need to connect with something. But
Yeah. Now it's just like there's a how-to.
There's
and
a
you
how.
can learn in 5 minutes everything. Like that
Amazing.
little thing.
I love it.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So when you originally set off in your like artistic career, right? Was music that one thing that you was like heading into, or were you just like wanted to be expressive and music was
Coño. Yeah. I mean, you know, the truth is I just through friends at school, I got into it. And it was through DJing and it was for money. We were poor, you know, immigrant kids, you know, parents, you know, wanted to buy a Nintendo or whatever, you know, and we had to make money.
Yeah.
And when I was 10, my friends were like, yo, you know, which I still know, Estrellita. I tell this story a lot because Linguini.
Yeah.
He just called me. I got to come back, but I love you, Linguini. You know, they were having these parties and they needed a DJ. So my friend Kevin was like, yo, if we all put $25 in, we can buy turntables with a system. And I got to create a records for my brother. And boom,
we got a
did
party.
it. I borrowed $25. You know, it was like my first investment to build capital and cash flow. You know what I mean? Like,
your first entrepreneurial experience.
Yeah. And then we did it. And then I did it for a while. And then I just was like, I lived, you know, 4 blocks from Car Jewel Records.
Okay.
You know where that is, right?
Yeah,
It was on Carl Way. I don't think
Yeah.
it's there no more. It was a record store / barbershop. Epic. And they had all the jams, bro. It was like, and back then it was mad cheap. You know, it was like dirt cheap.
Yeah, for records. Yeah.
It was dirt cheap. Like you would go to the dollar bin and it would be like every single record you wanted for $1. You know?
That's what's up, man. So it was born out of necessity, basically. This whole like
and love, you know, and like, but then we did it and we're like, God damn, people like DJs, you know, or like, and then we became like, yo, it's a skill, it's fun, you know, and turntable, you know, this was, you know, 1990.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. So when was like your official like I started in 1990?
So it was like, what was I? 12, 11. Aguasi.
Damn, so you're deep into the music game right now, my dog. Legendary shit right now.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun with Iggy and Kevin, Estrellita's parties. And then, actually, it was Estrellita, but it was also a girl named Linda, who I know too. I think now she has like 3 kids. She doesn't live in Miami. Pero, you know, we're
Miami stories.
We're all like, you know, 150 years old. You know?
Yeah. That's how it is now. It's always, the stories always end like, I don't think they're in Miami anymore. I think they're in North Carolina.
But God bless them, you know. Who knows? I wouldn't know. But yeah, I always fell in love. And then I got out of it.
Yeah.
And then I kept the stuff. I used it as by boombox and to play music and, you know, to, get touch with cannabis and zone out to records. Yeah. And then one day I'm like, yo, I want to make this shit.
Yeah, so that's what was that?
It's just like just wanting to like I would hear tracks and I'd be like, what if this track went this way? Why does it need to go this way? Like, this is the, it's predictable.
Yeah.
What if he took that and, and then I just, I had all the equipment, so we just started doing it.
So you ran with it.
Yeah.
And now you're at the point where you're like, your sound is very experimental. It's also like very futuristic. And I could totally see how you wanting to be coming against the grain, right? Not to sound exactly the same as anything else, how that sound could like develop that way.
Yeah.
When you decide, okay, I'm gonna make music, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this project, how do you start? You start like saying with a melody in your head? Do you just say I'm just gonna experiment and make different sounds? Am I gonna do you start with now? Do you start with like a BPM? Do you start with like what's your workflow?
All of the above.
So it's not no one says wait.
I mean, if there's always like sounds that just you make music,
Yeah.
Otto Fresco, know? So like I bet you're sitting in the studio one day and like when I made Dracula, I was like, I knew what Dracula was gonna sound like.
So you heard it in your head before, okay.
And Superman and Salpica.
Okay.
I had those in my head. But there's a lot of tracks where like even making those songs, I hear a sound and it makes like I have a track called El Pollito. And I had that track in another track called Vampiro Tropical, or Vampiro Chupanaga, And then that sound made a whole song because that sound was just El Pollito. So you know how sounds work. It's like you're on the modular and boom, a sound takes you into a
So you like going in those tangents.
Yeah, it goes, you open a portal. Basically, the sound is a portal to a song, But then you go in the studio with a BPM and a song in mind. That's almost harder because Dracula, I wrote it in my head in 20 minutes. But then physically, it took me a while because I had to search for those sounds.
Yeah.
And I had to find them, I had to find that vibe,
So until you don't hear what you heard in your head, you're not satisfied.
Yeah. But then there's tracks that is like, boom, it just comes out of thin air. The porthole opens. You grab the magic. You put it on your hard drive, and boom, it's there, Yeah. Back then, it was, we had a 4-track,
Yeah, back then
in the
it
90s.
It was a much different time in music production. Now, like, DAWs have opened up, like, the world to everybody. And
endless,
not only endless, like Splice and all of that, where you have, like, endless supply of like, samples and royalty-free samples.
It might head into a very... I mean, I'm all for everything,
Yeah.
I believe in love and light and growth. But it might come to a point where, like, what are musicians? You know what I mean? Like, do we need robots will make the vibe? They know the formula.
You think so? You think? I mean, I've heard of AI music now.
AI, and it's like they know the formula. They know what makes people happy, the frequencies, and
damn, that's fucking
so
crazy.
We're gonna have to break the ice. We're gonna have to break it. It's gonna be Ninja Turtle style, like sewer rats, like fucking coming out and fucking con la pingadura.
Yeah, completely different out left field as fuck.
We have to eventually.
You think that we'll be competing against AIs and at some point in the future, like for
I mean, I think money wise we already are, because there's so much stock shit out there.
Yeah,
that we're kind of. Computers helped a lot to make that shit.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Napster opened up the world. Before Napster, they were like there was a gatekeeper for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't get to the studio. Just getting into the studio was a mission. Like, motherfuckers used to think like, oh, I'm in the studio now, I'm gonna make it. Like, nah, that's just step one, dog.
Yeah.
It just took you a long time to get there.
But it was an awesome feeling, It
was like, oh, I'm in the studio. Like, you thought that just being in the studio, magically the stuff would just come at you.
Now everybody has a studio,
Everybody has a studio.
You have an iPhone, you have a studio.
Facts, big facts. You have a studio, there's different ways for you to mix it just on your phone and things like that.
We're blessed,
Yeah.
It's a blessing, but yeah, in the 90s, it was so hard to make music. Like, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I was connected, I didn't know anybody. I knew an old man that made commercials.
Okay.
And I wore...
Like jingles?
Yeah. And like, I remember buying a beat machine from him, you know? And he was like a cokehead and whatever, you know? So he sold me this beat machine because he wanted coke, you know?
That's what's up, dog. So, that's our Florida economics 101 right there.
Yeah, and I bought like another drum machine off a crackhead, and I don't know, it was a whack one, but I think I still have it.
Yeah. You know? No, I remember buying my first beeper off a crackhead for 25 cents. That was when I was deep down south in Ghouls. You know what I'm saying?
Hookup, 25 cents.
For a beeper. Back then, the beepers were like $40, $50. Remember when the beepers, you could get them? And this is like, damn, I'm showing my age. You get a beeper, and it'd be connected for the whole year. And you just needed to get that number. So, if you just got that number, you got the number, somebody beeped you, it'd be like, hey, you just beeped this number. I just want to make sure you send it to the right one, and then that's how you confirmed what number you had. Yeah. And that was your new beeper. You know what I'm saying?
You could have it 6 months. Depends how long they paid it for.
Exactly. And this guy just came up. He's like, yo, I got this beeper, 25 cents. I remember it was clear, too. Like,
I love the clear ones.
The clear ones, like hot pink, one, clear.
A green one. And then you had the little chain, you know?
Yeah, the beeper chain. He was trying to be gangster out there.
143 in this beat.
69, 143. Damn, girl. Bro, so you've now developed an entire sound. You have an entire audience. How do you keep in contact with your audience, with the people that follow your trajectory musically and things like that?
Damn, man, I try to visit them in dreams all day. I try to make them happy and visit their family members and their atoms, but that's just me wishing.
I see you're very active on social.
That I try to do too.
Yeah.
I try to stay in touch on social. Some people say I need to get on the other ones too, but it's so many, man. You know? And I'm trying, you know, I want to make music too, you know?
It interferes with the music making.
Yeah. But I like social media. It's opened a gateway to stay in touch with people around the world and feel like miss them less because you're part of their life. You feel with their stories a little bit, you know? Yeah. I mean, that's good and bad. I think, you know, people are going to stay stuck on it, you know?
Yeah.
We grew up when to visit your homie, you'd walk down the block, you know, and
just met up.
You met up, you know. Now it's like you could just, you know, send a quick video and you feel like, you know, you send them a voice note and it's like, yo, I chilled with you yesterday, but you haven't seen them in a month, you know?
Or years.
Yeah.
Just sending like little virtual things back and forth.
But yeah, you got to stay in touch. I mean, music... I've been hoarding a lot of music, so I feel like once I start releasing stuff again, I'll be back in touch with a lot of my friends and fans and or the people that, you know, I connect with spiritually and maybe more, you know?
What do you feel that was or has been like your biggest challenge as a musician post-COVID? Because I've been talking to a lot of people about like how they went through COVID and how things have drastically changed after COVID. Like, has that affected you as a musician, or do you feel it's like the same exact thing?
I mean, COVID for me personally was awesome. I'm alive, you know, but what I mean is it was a good break. That year, 2019, I toured like 8 months. We did too much touring. It was awesome because al final del día, el billete, Santo Billete came. And then, you know, during COVID, Santo Billete left, you know? So it was like, you know, in and out, but I had the in to come out because if not, we you know, our job isn't easy, you know, being musicians, we gotta, especially my music's fucking terrible and who wants to pay for that shit? But you know what I mean? It's experimental, you know? So there's layers, pero, hey, pay me. But al final del día, I loved the lockdown because it gave me a chance to breathe. Yeah. And then I didn't make music for like a year. And
after COVID?
During COVID.
During COVID, you didn't make music.
I like took the year off or something. It was like crazy. And then when I got back, I was so hungry to get in the studio. Yeah. Plus my studio got flooded. It was a mission. That's another story. Bunch of other stuff. Yeah, like the you know, the darkness came for a second. I had to meterle galletazos at the darkness. You
that's
know?
A big part of like being a creative, being a musician. Like people, there's a lot of like, what do they call them? Like bedroom musicians or bedroom producers because they don't have la confianza to like even put their music out, right? That's those dark, negative like thoughts that come into your head when you're making something, you're like, oh, this isn't good enough to even show anybody, you know? So that's something that I've battled with myself. Like, thank God I have like a co-producer, Golden Flora. Jesus, he's been able to like help me out as well when I'm like, yo, I don't think that's good. He's like, nah, that's good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of, like I've had somebody who helped me out like that. But you, since you carved out your own niche in the music that you're doing, how were you able to like, really like get through that and say, look, this is what I want to do. This is my vision. I'm sticking true to this vision, even though I know it's not gonna be the easiest route.
Yeah, that's the pinga, because I mean, if talking about Santo Billete, I feel like I'd be paid in full if I wasn't such a ADHD bipolar with my music. Like, I'll make a noise track, then a metal track, then a reggaeton track, then a bass track, then, you know, and I jump genres like I'm like at a grocery store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jumping through like
Different lanes.
Like I'm just like, and I feel like a lot of people can't accept that yet. But I feel like there shouldn't be rules, and music's music. In the future, people need to be more open and less closed, and more, you know, there's all these barriers and walls with people, you know. But I mean, when I was a kid, I was like going to rap battles and like really getting up there, and I never stuck to it because then it was like, oh, rap is so trendy, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You know,
when you felt it got too trendy, you're like,
but
I don't want to deal with it.
If I didn't do that, I'd probably be paid right now. You know? But yeah, I mean,
but you had to stay true to yourself.
Like today, I worked on like 7 songs. I have all these deadlines, and like as soon as I get ear fatigue, I like jump to another track, you know. And then by the 7th, I'm like, both ears are fried, and I'm like, you know,
that's it.
Time to eat some vegetales and neutralize the brain, you know.
Yeah.
Se acabó el día.
Se acabó el día. Yeah, it's a battle, you know. It's a battle, but at the same time, you have to express yourself creatively. You feel like, bro, I can't be stuck in this one genre. I've always, not lamented, but I've always seen artists that are in one particular genre and they only do that one genre. And I think to myself, how could that be fulfilling or fun? Because it's like almost the same thing repeatedly, continuously, every day, day in, day out. You know, they might master that one particular sound, but how do you? I know that as a creative, you want to do other things. You know,
yeah, def.
How do you battle that? You know, that's a different thing. You know, that's a hard challenge as a musician, as a creative.
Yeah, for me it is.
Yeah,
I've had to dumb it down to, and I still love everything, you know, but yeah, I think touring helped me. Because before I started touring and playing a lot of shows, I was like, I think I played a couple of shows and played my music, and I was like, holy shit, I can't play this live. Like, people are like leaving.
Yes, you know? yes.
It's too crazy. Yeah. Like, so
your shows are dope AF now.
Now, 20 years later, because you know, I was like, all right, I let me take this and this and this and like play that instead of these.
Yes.
You know, like, because, you know, you get all stoned or take some, you know, microdosing or drops of this and drops of that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, some psilocybin, and then you want to play a show, and it's going to be totally different than like if you drink a couple of beers, you know?
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, let me adapt with the atoms of these humans and drink some beers with them. And that's the way I feel that's what's going to happen, you know? Como los cojones.
I mean, yeah, bro. That's a big like feedback. So let's talk about your shows, your tours. You primarily tour a lot in Europe, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say your biggest fan base is in Europe?
Yeah, like I think Europe and South America.
And South America compete. You tour a lot in Europe.
I tour more in Europe, sadly, because I don't want to be away from home that much.
Yeah.
And the money's better, even though right now we're in weird times. The euro and the dollar, the dollar's better than the euro.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
It's amazing in a weird way because you're like, what?
Yeah.
The euro used to be like
120, 130.
175 when it first came out.
Yeah, when it first came out, yeah.
150 for years.
Yeah, 150. Yeah.
I remember. Those are the
Those are the good old days. So you tour Europe
God
a lot.
bless my booking agent, you know?
Yeah. So when you do your tours, how does it, like, talk to the people who want to be on those tours, right? What is that experience like? Because I think a lot of people have a fake vision of what tour is like.
I mean, it depends, like, what tour you're on, you know? It depends, like, what the aesthetic of the tour is. If you're on a bus with a tour manager and the merch person and you have stagehands and you're playing venues that you arrive in the bus in the morning and you wake up and there's catering, you know? It depends, that tour, and then you set up the show, or you're on a train and a plane every day. And you wake up at the hotel and you're on a train or a plane to the next city, or you wake up in a squat and you're in a car and you're driving yourself to the next city. I mean, what tour? I mean, when I started touring,
so there's the different levels of touring.
Yeah.
So you start off generally when you started off back in the day, you started on the squat side.
Yes, I started playing squats and raves and festivals. I was lucky because my records made it to big festivals.
Okay.
And so there would be like a reason to like a festival would be like, we'll pay your plane ticket to Europe. And so when I started touring, I didn't have a booking agent.
Okay.
So it's good to have a booking agent because you want your booking agent to connect a bunch of dots for you. So you get your transatlantic flight. I used to get my transatlantic flight paid for by a festival.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, make it for 3 weeks long.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't have kids. I didn't have like a life. I could leave for 3 weeks on a heartbeat without even planning it. So, and then I didn't know I was going to tour, but I would tell my friends like, yo, I'm going to Europe. And then boom, I would just hop from city to city and like
do shows
and
that
then
you
finally,
could get.
And you know, it would be like, you know, when I started touring, the euro wasn't even in place, so it'd be like whatever, you know, francs and the mark and whatever, and I'd be like, you know, I'd take whatever.
Yeah,
I just wanted
whatever currency.
Yeah.
Just there.
But the festival would be like
the major one.
They would pay the major, and then maybe I get 2 festivals, and then they would pay the major, and then the rest were just friends that had raves. You know? And that's how I met like Dormouse, and that's how I met like Basic, and I met like it back then. You know what? 1999, I started.
You started touring in Europe.
Yeah.
And then slowly progressed. You've gone on bigger tours with more artists, and you've gone up the level of touring now.
Yeah. I remember one of the first festivals that booked me was 2001 in Amsterdam, Paradiso, or 2000. Amazing festival, bro. Crazy. Like so much money for art, you know? Like that's the thing too. I don't know now as much, but they had so much money for art funding and like to do experimental things. And we were so blessed to be part of that. I'm sure they still do, and the earth still provides opportunities. But I basically started that route, and then I just kept going. When I got a booking agent, it was mad easy. A lot of work in the sense because I had a great Austrian booking agent, G. I love you, G. Now I'm with Luke. G. I love Luke. Both Lukes. Triangle Power. We all have the triangle tattoo. Triangle Gang. You know, blood, sweat, and tears. And they're Doomstar in Holland, Dutch company, but they're my brothers. They're coming to Miami. Love them. But I was with G for 13 years, and he booked the shit out of me. Like, he was like, I wouldn't sleep on those tours. It would be like, play a rave at 4 a.m. and go straight to the airport and
get to the next
place. He'd take a buyout from the hotel. It was like crazy. And then it was just like tour mania, you know?
Yeah.
But I was fine with that. I was like, yo, I'm spreading the triangle. My music's getting blessed. All these ears are getting blessed, opening portholes every night. I was young, you know, going through Italy, Spain, all these places I'd never been, small cities, big cities, you know, nonstop.
That's cool, man. I know that's something that a lot of musicians aspire to. They want to do like the tours, Europe specifically. They want to be able to reach different audiences, because that's like, it's really international, right? Europe is one of those is like one of those areas in the world where so many different countries that are not only like very affluent countries, but they're all super close together. You know, it's almost like the different states here in the United States. It's just that each place is a country. So you're gaining a brand new like audience in each new country, right? Something that you wouldn't be able to do touring here in the United States. You just get one audience, the whole United States, maybe the 50 states. I highly doubt it if you go to Alaska or Hawaii, but like the lower 48, you know. But over there, you really grow your audience like internationally. You know, it gives you an opportunity. When you decide you're making music, do you feel like now that you're catering it more towards that audience? Because you're like, yeah, I have that tour-based audience that I have over there, que le van a gustar esto, maybe they won't like this Hialeah type shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. I should, but I don't. It's a problema mío. I go in the studio and I'm just like, para bing, para boom, like it just, whatever comes out. Sometimes it's stuff that I feel like that crowd would like, but sometimes it's like you said, Hialeah only gets it.
Yes.
You know, and
like
I have to flow with it because I love it.
I feel you.
I love it. I'm true to myself. But if I can give any advice to a musician that wants to, I mean, there's that golden moment where you make a track and it becomes popular and you blow up and you tour forever. But that wasn't my case.
Yeah.
You know, it was like I made little bursts of records that did good, and I had a good run with the record, you know, and people wanted to book me. But it was never like, oh, I blew up with the song, you know?
I feel you.
So if you're young and you're down, go.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the money or how you're gonna get there or how long you get. Just follow the wave. Connect with people and play music for free if you have to. But your music's getting played, and eventually, if you believe in yourself, it'll stick because you're putting love and light into the sound waves, into the machines. And these robots don't have the power of love that we have, you know? So we give it to them, and they'll express it to us. And, you know?
That's dope, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a very... you need those kind of words of encouragement as a musician, because you get a lot of negativity. You get a lot of like, that's not a real career. You're not really doing anything with your life.
Man, look at like, shout out Lanebot. Like I've told Lanebot 100 times, I'm like, just get out there, bro. Do it. Like, what do you like? You know, but he's doing so good in Miami. Yeah. So it's like, you know, just like Billy, Galactic Effect, shout out, you know.
Shout out Galactic Effect.
I tell him all the time, just get out there, you know.
Yeah.
But now you can do so good. Like Billy does so good streaming, you know. It's amazing, you know. So does Lanebot. So they don't really need the Europe push.
But it would always be a blessing, bro. You know. It would always be.
He would kill it out there.
Yeah.
But you know, you would need, unless you'd have a hit record where you go out there and
that catapults you there.
That makes, you know, you're in front of 1,000 people every night.
Yeah.
You're gonna play like the barbecues or the after parties or but now it's easy. You don't have to carry, you know, USB
you just
stick.
have USB sticks. Yeah, little
back when I started, it was like tremendo book bag. I used to carry the 50-foot mixer for the ladies, you know.
I say
I only use 2 channels, but
that's how you used to have the muscles,
bro.
Así te llegó los músculos. That's what's up. That's so. I've had the pleasure to work with you in your visual representations, right? In your visual creations when we did the Dracula's Castle, and you've also you do a lot of music videos, and you have a very like strong visual representation of all the music that you make. Like, is that something that also comes naturally to you, or is that something that you have to learn that skill set? The communication with other creatives such as myself and other people like directors and all of that. How was that? Like, how did you grow that?
Man, I love videos so much. I love art. I love even the passion of, I love watching movies and cinematography and camera tricks and the lens, the way it captures. I love cinematography so much. So like it comes natural to me almost as much as music does.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So when you sit down and you're like, when you're listening to your song, does the music video play in your head?
Always.
And you're trying to
the whole time. even before a sound just tells me what the visual is.
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept. Like I myself, when I make a song, after I hear the song, after I've made it, then like I've had like feelings while I'm making it, but it doesn't come together all together as like a movie until I feel like the whole song is captured. I get the feelings, like I feel like, oh, it sounds like me being at the ventanita, get un cafecito. You know what I'm saying?
That's it though. Then,
exactly. It's a feeling.
And then it connects the dots with the other sounds.
And then, but once I'm done is when I have the visual representation. But for you, it's like the entire time you already have the movie playing in your head.
Yeah, most of the time. Even with sounds, you know, or a noise song or an atmosphere, like I see, like, okay, this is where the spaceship's gonna land, and then they're gonna decalcify my pinol, and then I'm clean, and then boom, it's like sperm shoots out of my heart, you know, or whatever, you know, like that was me today. I was like visualizing this because I wanted to do a landing of a spaceship in the song.
Okay.
And
like
one
of the 7 songs that you worked on today.
So basically, but yeah, like I mean, it's a double-edged sword because I love all my videos. Yeah. But like shout out. I can't shout out everybody that's done my videos, but like Amadeus, you know, and my brother Egon, you know, Pepe Villete. I mean, you know, so many people I've worked on videos with. Yuri, but I'm always the asshole that has the idea too. So like I know Amadeus comes with an idea, and I'm like, but man, when I made this song, I have this idea.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, this is my song.
And then he's like, you know, but that does work with my idea. And then we
you gotta compromise.
We merge them.
Yeah,
you know,
we
how
merge.
You do that thing where
you do that thing where you merge together.
El boito. And but yeah, that's been a double-edged sword. Like with my brother, you know, he'll have an idea, but I'll be like, damn, but when I made this song, this was the idea I had, you know? So sometimes I let go. I'm like, you know what? Their idea is way better. Like, roll with it, you know? Like,
is that hard for you to do, though?
No.
Okay, all right.
Certain songs, no, though. You know, like, there's certain songs where I'm like, nah, that song was built off this ritual. Or, you know, that song was built with this in mind, you know? And sometimes I like just, like, grabbing the camera and shooting. Yeah. And see what happens. Yeah. You have the 5 elements. Like, that's how we did Sapika. Okay. With Yuri. I was like, just follow me with the camera. I have a chicken and a drag queen.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all I need. And Pinta, Cubano.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Let's go to Overtown, Calle Ocho.
Ejo's in that.
Ejo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called Ejo up and we're like, yo, we need to film somewhere. And he's like, come to my pool, you know?
Yeah. Come to my pool. We down.
And we're like, we spent 2 weekends together and we shot it. And then we celebrated.
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, all those visual representations of your songs are very much in tune. They're very much in line. You know, like you see the song, you see the visual, and you hear the song. You're like, yeah, these two things match up like very well. So it's a fun way that you like express those two things, right? Communication with the director and or the creator, whoever it might be, and also being able to do the give and take, which is hard for creatives, bro. Honestly, it's a hard thing for creatives because people do their little baby and they don't want nobody to touch their baby. Like, nah, this is the way I did it. It came out of my soul or some shit. And then it's like it's hard for you to give up.
But I see both. I see me sometimes being too much because I know how it is to be on their side. You know, like it's their baby too. You know.
Yes, because you're bringing them in.
I'm bringing them in.
You're bringing them in. So now you got to give up relinquish a little bit of that power. That's
I know, and they're super creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are people with, you know, master genius, creative ideas, you know? And sometimes ones we can't execute because of budget or you know, being too early in the game of computers science, you know? Like my brother, his ideas, I'm like, yo, we gotta wait 20 years for somebody like us to do that, you know? Unless we're not Disney World, you know?
We're not Disney. We don't got those budgets.
Yeah.
We need to get that Disney Plus budget.
Yeah.
Make a new video like
That's
that.
what I'm saying, bro.
So do you have anything in the works for us right now? Do you have something that you're working on, a drop soon? What's popping?
Yes. There's a I'm sitting on like 5 albums.
I
I'm
know
trying
that
to
your ass
finish.
takes forever to do those.
I don't know
like,
why, bro.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what it is basically like my manager said, I love you. But it's basically we're strategically planning where to place everything in the right way to not just release it and you know, like he has a plan, and I love his plan. So we're going slow. But Amadeus is shooting 2 videos right now. We're shooting El Pollito and Culo.
Okay.
Another Culo track.
Okay, another Culo track.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what's
like
up.
17 more Culo tracks coming out this year.
Right, bro. I wish there was 20, bro. Culo tracks, those are the best, dog. Those are the down and dirty Dade County songs. I already know that shit, you know. 305 through and through. Culo. Whenever there's Culo in there, it's a 305 track. I already know I'm expecting some bass in that bitch.
Tons
Of bass.
Making like bass record, metal record with Igor Cavalera.
So I heard, so like, I heard that those genres that you dipped in. We did that tour recently in Europe that was headlined by
Igor.
By Igor.
The band Igor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The band Igor. Yeah, not your brother. Yeah.
Yeah, not no. My Igor Cavalera is the drummer from Sepultura. And so I'm working with him on a metal record. It's coming out awesome. And a couple of other people like Aeon Q on guitars.
Oh, snap.
Killing the game on guitars.
Yeah, Aeon Q's always, shout out Aeon Q, bro.
Yeah.
That dude is like, he knows what he's doing. Yeah.
And then
100%.
I'm working on a surf bass record.
With Rap Bastard? I was about to say, coño, that'd be the dopest.
Yeah, and Rap Bastard, he's on a track with me. I sampled him.
Yeah.
But
I know you guys do the sound.
The noise thing,
The noise convention. The
coming
noise
up,
conference. I mean, but 100%. So you got a whole bunch of new tracks coming out, and they're all gonna be like dropped strategically.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. But I mean, I'm gonna release stuff this year, like, and singles to lead up to that. But I got a lot of people asking me for albums.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I was gonna ask, like, so you just basically going through the single route now?
I'm working on albums. So I have like this metal record, this surf bass record, a Miami bass album.
Okay.
I got like a weird, like I have so many albums ready.
Yeah.
And then whatever B-sides don't fit are gonna go singles, and just people hear it and tell me if you want it or not. Don't listen.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stuff with healing frequencies. Like I'm doing this surf bass record with a lot of shaman healing frequencies.
That's what's up.
And like trying to bring people into the light and cosas así.
Yeah. Do you feel that Miami, because we're from Miami, but I mean we're for everybody. Of course, this podcast is for all Latinos, you know, and for basically all the creatives nationwide. But since we're from Miami, we talk a lot about Miami, like the feelings here. You feel Miami accepts you as a creative, as an artist, or how do you feel your relationship has been with the people here locally?
Man, I feel super accepted here, and I'm super blessed. Aguacate maduro, peo seguro. Aguacate verdoso, peo apestoso y sabroso.
Coño! Yeah, Dade County is a place where creatives, there's like, I feel like it's a double-edged sword here. Like there's a big space where creatives such as ourselves could thrive in, but there's also a big like space where a lot of the population is like in the mainstream, like lives only in the mainstream. And it's fun and weird finding those like gray spaces where people are like, yeah, my favorite artist is Pitbull, or my favorite artist is Bad Bunny, but they'll be at a fucking Otto show. You know what I'm saying? That's those gray spaces where it's like, yeah, I like other parts of the culture here. It doesn't have to be only this one thing. There's a lot of people who are only this one thing though. You know, and that's always one of those things that you have to fight against the grain here in Dade County. Yeah. You know, but it's awesome that you found your audience international, you know, South America. When you originally launched, what was your projection? Did you feel like, oh, I'm gonna go in this route, or you just like, bro, me voy a tirar pa donde sea, donde caiga? That's where it's at.
Tú dices cuando salí mis primeros discos.
Yeah, when you first launched your first, yeah.
Man, I was dumb, and I could have been like, I had a lot of opportunities and I didn't take them.
Okay.
I didn't care. I was like, I didn't care. I didn't know the game. I didn't know the game then. And it's way different game than it is now. Then it was vinyl and CDs, you know, and there was no such thing as an MP3 yet invented, you know. It was a different game, and I had a lot of opportunities, and I didn't take them because of being a kid.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where I was gonna go. I didn't know it was gonna go anywhere.
There was no strategy.
There was no strategy
I really
then.
doing this.
No, there was no strategy. Now I want to like heal people with sound and just make people feel good, and like I want them to leave my concerts with a big smile. And
I mean, they do. They do.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, that's
100%.
all.
Like, I totally feel that. Like, it's fun seeing people have joy from shit that you create. Honestly, it's like it's a fun experience. Like, damn, this person is having fun, smiling or jumping or whatever because of some shit that I made, you know, and I made them feel good. And even if you're having a shitty day, it makes you feel good. You're like, damn, I made somebody else feel good, dude.
100%. And you know what? It's like with in this world, we have all these constructs and all these barriers bringing us down and the darkness trying to come in. When this is heaven, this is beauty. Like, come on, man. Like, we're so blessed. You know what I mean? And we have to remind each other, and that reminds us, like, you know, playing your magic, you know, because music is magic. It's like the carbon footprint is minimal. It's beautiful, you know? It's something that connects us. It's frequencies that can alter our way of thinking, or alter our being, alter our you know, our day. Like you said, our atoms. Our atoms dance, our mitochondria, our fucking gut microbiome, you know?
It's all there. And I like how you keep it silly. And that's something that I feel, I mean, I follow in that suit as well, but I feel that keeping it silly is like not taking everything so serious, bro. Because everything isn't as serious as people think it is. It's like you need to sometimes like sit back and count your blessings, you know, and being silly brings that out. Like, yeah, bro, I've been very stupid about this stupid little frivolous thing que me está molestando. Like, I could be silly about it. It doesn't have to be that big, you know?
No, y la gente, los niños le encantan eso, bro.
Yeah.
I have so many kid fans. It's beautiful. Like I get so many videos daily of like kids dancing to my music and like jamming and like, you know, silly, you know, dinosaurs rule the earth. Like, probably have 100 videos of kids dancing to that.
The dinosaurs,
Yeah, like parents just send me that stuff every day. Like, my kid loves this, you know?
That's awesome, dog. That's awesome.
It just touches me, you know?
Yeah.
And my son, man, he's constantly shouting my tracks.
Yeah.
All my new shit, he's like all over. Axel, thank you. Because he'll be like, Dad, play this one where you say the woof of the dragon eats your pineal gland. I'm like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
And then I play it, and he's like, that one.
That's the one. That's what's up, man. That's awesome, man. So, this, do you have upcoming shows locally here in Dade County 305? What's popping, my dog?
Next Saturday, October 1st.
October 1st. What's popping?
With Otto Fresco.
With Otto Fresco. Hey,
Otto Fresco.
Otto Fresco in the building.
Opening up for me. Thank you. Thank you for blessing me.
Thank you for inviting us on the bill, bro, with the legendary Otto Von Schirach. Come on, man.
It's going to be a dope party at Bar Nancy. We're getting more sound. I'm going to take the Bermuda Triangle family is going to come decalcify. We're going to get cleansed from all the reptilian juju that they put on us.
Yeah.
Right on Calle Ocho.
Right
Tremendo
on Calle Ocho.
Despojo. Super bass cleanse. Blessed by the light. Thank you, Barnancy. And then, you know, October, I feel like October starts the back in the game.
Yeah.
You know.
The shows
start again. Then there's 3 points.
You 3 points. Yeah.
David Sinopoli killing it. You know, and then we got November, December. It just keeps, the shows are going to come, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so come out, stay blessed, get decalcified. We're going to align your chakras. Aguacate maduro all day, every day.
How did you come up with the show, man? Because, like, your show is so fun. How did that
just developed over time? It was like I always you know, I've been through a lot of darkness.
Yeah.
You know, in my life, and When I was a kid, growing up, you would do limpiezas.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So my show, I wanted it to be una limpieza because I needed, a lot of times I was stuck with this darkness and I needed una limpieza. And I was like, I have to do it I'm playing a show tonight. So right there, that's the limpieza. Everybody's going to get cleaned. And then it just started turning into this fun thing. Let's clean each other. Let's evolve and be happy and cleanse our atoms and rejoice. So it became that, and then it evolved into this like, let's open the portal and clean and the Bermuda Triangle family and
I remember the show that you did for Zombie Prom. Was that
man,
the one?
that was a long you mean
At 1306.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. That you came out and you did like this thing with blood.
It was a Halloween
yeah.
kind of vibe.
Halloween vibe.
Bro,
yeah.
I was in the darkness then too.
Oh yeah?
Porque yo estaba casi enfermo.
Yeah.
La luz no me estaba llegando. I don't know that they were all these like darkness were blocking the light, but I was like, esto vamos a sacarnos.
That's another thing. Like sometimes those like experiences, like doing those shows, takes you out of those negative places, takes you 100%. Out of those dark places. Like just going out there and like letting that energy out. You know, 100%. You have a bunch of like negative energy flowing around you. You just like bust it out, kind of like blow it out. You walk off the stage and you're like, damn, I feel so much better right now.
So much better.
Yeah.
It's cleansed.
Yeah.
Frequencies aligned. Like, yo, de verdad que yo tenía una amiga. She used to come with me to shows in Europe. Y una vez me dijo, she went on a tour with me, and it was a wild tour. I had like 3 or 4 friends with me. I was selling merch. I rented a car. It was like one of those tours where like, it was like you land in a plane, you know, and you don't need to get back on a plane till you leave 3 weeks later. I love those tours because constantly being on trains and airports could be a mission because you're relying on them, and you might have a hotel, but you gotta leave, you know, and then you're like, I didn't even take a shower. I didn't even sleep in the bed, whatever.
Yeah.
Pero on a car tour or on a bus tour, you're more, you have your own time kind of a little bit more. Pero every show, I was in a dark place and I needed to get my light back. And there was the vampires chupándome.
Yeah.
But she's like, after every show, it's like there's a line of people wanting to like kiss the ring because you like healed them. And I was like, man, they healed me.
Yeah.
Like these people literally we healed each other with the frequencies of the room and all the sweat, Like I remember one time in like Warsaw or it was Warsaw, Krakow, or even in Prague. And it was like, I almost fainted. It was a 2-hour show.
Yo.
And they wouldn't let me stop playing. And I was cornered in and I was like, God damn, I played everything.
Yeah, it went through the whole catalog.
Pero I sweat. I couldn't use my computer no more.
Yeah, because you were sweating so much.
Yeah, and I was like, guys, that's it. This happens maybe like 10 times in my life where the computer's toast,
Yeah.
But at that day, de verdad que todo se me salió, todo lo malo.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like you use your creative outlet to like, push all that negative energy out the way and all those negative thoughts. We all go through it. We're all humans. We all have those, like different people deal with it in different manners. As creatives, I always know that creatives use their expression as a way to like release those thoughts or any of that feeling that's bogging you down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, I appreciate you. Are you down to collab? If people want to reach out to you and get in contact with your music, all that
Hell
stuff,
yeah.
Where can they reach out to you?
Todos los lugares. I'm everywhere. Instagram. I'm on Earth. I'm in space. You can hit me up on the Dreamscape. You can hit me up in the Fifth Dimension. Lo que tú quieras. I'm here. I'm always available.
Are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok.
Hey, what's your TikTok?
I guess just my handle, my
Otto
name.
Von Schirach?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Instagram too?
Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm BermudaTriangleFamily.com. Hit me up. I'll be in a town near you. Be serving aguacate base. I'll be giving you tons of Pino Cleanse. all the healing frequencies of the Bermuda Triangle coming your way.
That's what's up, man. Thank you so much for coming on to the Que Bola podcast, man.
Que vuelta, que bola.
I appreciate you, man. You're a Miami legend. You're definitely a legend in the music scene out here. You've been doing it for a long, long time, and you've been like blazing a road for people such as myself and Otto Fresco and Lane Bot and Strange Bass and all of that to come through and represent the city full, you know, and the right way.
I believe in you guys 100%, bro.
I always appreciate your help and basically being able to do these things and like showing a way to do it. Cause if not, then we'd be out there like not knowing how to basically get it done. You know what I'm saying? Out there, kind of like how you originally started, how you were saying back in the days, you know what I'm saying?
We need unity now more than ever. In Miami,
yeah,
in the world, but in Miami, things are changing
drastically.
And it's almost like you know, like New World Order, like they did this on purpose. They live, but I don't even want to go that route because I'm not a conspiracy. I try to just stay focused and like, I'm not human and I'm not a parasite. As much as I can.
But yeah, there's been a lot of change in South Florida cultural scene in the last
around the
year
world too. I see it in Europe like crazy, but in Miami, if we don't unify, like there's no venues.
Yeah.
And they're taking it all away, and Live Nation is like tax, money. Like all these where we shined are getting, you know, of course there's going to be rave soon, but then what? You get a felony charge? You know what? You got to go to prison to play a show?
Music? Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, soon it's going to be like the dwellers, you know? We're going to have to, you know, but hopefully there's opportunities and hopefully there's a rich person that sees that they can do good by keeping us open.
Hopefully, man. Let's hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, man. You know how it is out here. You got to get ready, dog. Once again, thank you so much for everybody tuning in, listening to the podcast. If you like it, like I always say, share with your friends. And if you hate it, share with your enemies. But just share this motherfucker, all right? Hasta la próxima. We'll be in contact. Peace. Yo, I want to thank Otto for coming on to the Que Bola podcast, Papo, and talking and chopping it up and dropping gems, you know, major keys out here for up-and-coming musicians and producers. The do's and don'ts, you know. It was a really wonderful talk, full of energy and full of educational and motivational shit. And that's what we're about at the Que Bola podcast, primarily for the creatives, the Latino creatives. If you like what you're hearing, you know what it is. Please share it, subscribe, share it with your friends, everybody around the country, man. We're trying to get Que Bola podcast to get international out there, you know what I'm saying? Mexico y todo, Papo, Canada, wherever it's at, bro. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing, sharing. And if you want to get in contact, Que Bola podcast at phresherfresh.com. That's Que Bola podcast at Phresh with an F and then Fresh with a PH.com. Phresher Fresh. You know what we're doing out here. Phresher Fresh Media, baby. Taking it to the next level. Hasta la próxima. Que te crezca. Love you, man. Peace.